Life often places us in situations where our patience and self-worth are put to the test. Whether it's a dismissive colleague, a condescending friend, or even a family member who constantly belittles us, the sting of disrespect is something we've all felt. The real challenge, however, is not merely enduring such behavior, but learning how to rise above it with dignity and wisdom. As the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." These words remind us that true strength lies not in retaliation, but in mastering our responses to those who challenge our peace. Disrespect is inevitable in life, but how we choose to respond defines our character. Will you let the behavior of others dictate your mood and self-worth? Or will you take control, standing firm in your values and preserving your inner peace? The philosophy of Stoicism, practiced by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, offers timeless wisdom for navigating these moments. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our reactions, our boundaries, and ultimately, our peace of mind. In this article, we'll explore 8 practical and transformative ways to handle disrespect, inspired by Stoic principles. These aren't just abstract ideas, but actionable strategies you can apply in your everyday life to build resilience, maintain your dignity, and foster genuine self-respect. From setting clear boundaries to mastering the power of silence, each method is designed to empower you to take control of your interactions and live with purpose. For instance, have you ever been in a situation where someone's rude comment or dismissive attitude left you questioning yourself? Instead of reacting emotionally, imagine responding with calm logic or choosing to walk away entirely. These simple shifts in perspective, rooted in Stoic wisdom, not only protect your peace, but also signal to others that you value yourself too much to entertain negativity. As you read through these 8 strategies, reflect on your own experiences. How do you typically handle disrespect? Do you confront it head-on, avoid it altogether, or let it fester in your mind? Each approach reveals something about your relationship with yourself and others. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your insights could inspire someone else to find their path to inner strength. By the end of this article, you'll have a toolkit of Stoic-inspired practices to handle even the most challenging interactions with grace and self-respect. Let's journey together toward building an iron mind, a state of resilience where external negativity no longer wields power over your peace. Are you ready to reclaim your self-worth and learn how to turn moments of disrespect into opportunities for growth? Let's dive in. And don't forget to join the conversation. What's one strategy you've used to handle disrespect in your life? Your story might just be the catalyst someone else needs to change theirs. Step 1. Set clear boundaries. The first key to handling disrespect. Life often brings us into challenging situations and relationships where disrespect can shake our self-worth. In those moments, many choose to endure, hoping things will change on their own. However, the truth is that if you don't set boundaries, others will continue to overstep them without realizing the harm they're causing. Setting clear boundaries is not only a way to protect your inner peace, but also the first step in defining your self-value to others. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This advice perfectly reflects the importance of establishing boundaries. When you draw the line for yourself and communicate it to others, you're not just protecting yourself, you're affirming to the world that you are someone worthy of respect. Imagine working in a team where a colleague repeatedly interrupts you during meetings. At first, you might think that staying silent is the best way to avoid conflict, but over time, this behavior persists, making you feel overlooked and disrespected. If you don't address the issue, they'll assume their behavior is acceptable. This is the crux of the matter. People often treat us the way we allow them to. Without clear boundaries, you silently grant others permission to decide how they treat you. And each time you stay silent, you diminish your value in their eyes. Setting boundaries is neither selfish nor unkind. On the contrary, it's a way to communicate honestly about what you need to maintain balance and self-respect. A well-defined boundary not only protects you from unwanted behaviors, but also helps others understand how they can better respect you. Establishing boundaries requires self-awareness and courage. You need to recognize what makes you uncomfortable and determine which behaviors are unacceptable. Here's how you can do it. Identify what matters to you. Start by asking yourself, do certain behaviors hurt or unsettle me? For example, you might feel uneasy when someone constantly jokes about your work or invades your personal time. Understanding your limits is the first step toward protecting them. Communicate clearly and politely. When faced with unacceptable behavior, respond calmly and immediately. A statement like, "I feel interrupted when I'm not allowed to finish my thoughts. I need you to let me complete my point before responding," addresses the issue directly without escalating tensions. There will be times when others fail to respect the boundaries you've set. In such cases, standing your ground sends a strong message that you are serious about your expectations. Follow through. If a boundary is repeatedly violated without consequences, it loses its power. Ensure that you act if others disregard your limits, such as limiting interactions or stepping away from situations that cause discomfort. Many people hesitate to set boundaries out of fear of offending or hurting others. But remember, protecting your self-esteem is not an act against someone else. It's an act of love and care for yourself. You don't need to confront others harshly or angrily. Communicate calmly but assertively, as calmness is the greatest strength Stoic philosophy encourages. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value." If you value respect, be ready to demand it with confidence, free from emotional impulses. Successfully setting boundaries doesn't just create a safe space for yourself, it also signals to others that you are someone who values self-respect. Over time, those around you will begin to recognize your boundaries and adjust their behavior accordingly. Moreover, every time you stand up for yourself, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and build inner strength. This not only helps you deal with current challenges, but also equips you with essential life skills to face future ones with grace and confidence. Have you ever set boundaries in your relationships? How did it change how others treated you? Share your story in the comments to inspire others. Remember, setting boundaries isn't a one-time action. It's a journey where you learn to love and respect yourself more deeply. And on this journey, every small step forward is a step closer to the inner peace you deserve. As you establish these boundaries, you may notice that some individuals will try to challenge them, using manipulative tactics or engaging in power struggles to regain control. This leads us to the next critical lesson in handling disrespect: learning how to avoid engaging in power struggles. Let's explore this in the next step. Step 2. Don't engage in power struggles, mastering the art of emotional control. When faced with disrespect, the temptation to react can feel almost irresistible. A cutting remark, a condescending tone, or a blatant dismissal of your ideas can trigger a surge of frustration and indignation. It's natural to want to defend yourself to prove your worth, or even to retaliate. But here's the truth. Engaging in a power struggle only feeds into the other person's agenda and drains your energy. Stoicism teaches us a better way, a path of calm and composure that places control back into our hands. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you refuse to engage in petty conflicts, you preserve your dignity and demonstrate true strength. Disrespect often stems from a desire to assert dominance or provoke a reaction. People who disrespect you, whether knowingly or subconsciously, may be trying to test your boundaries, assert control, or shift the focus away from their own shortcomings. For instance, imagine a colleague dismissing your idea in a meeting with a sarcastic remark. Their goal isn't to engage in constructive dialogue, but to belittle you and gain the upper hand. If you respond emotionally, you hand them what they want: control over your state of mind. This is why Stoicism emphasizes emotional discipline. By choosing not to engage, you deny them the satisfaction they seek and maintain your inner peace. Mastering this skill requires practice and a shift in perspective. Here are key strategies to help you avoid being drawn into unnecessary battles. Pause before reacting. When provoked, take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to process the situation. This pause allows you to respond with logic rather than emotion. Respond with calm logic. Instead of meeting disrespect with hostility, respond with clarity and composure. For example, if someone dismisses your idea, say, "I see your point, but here's why I believe this approach has value." A calm and measured response disarms the other person and shifts the dynamic in your favor. Know when to walk away. Not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to disengage entirely. A simple statement like, "I'm not going to argue about this," followed by silence, can be immensely effective. Stay focused on your peace. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? If the answer is no, let it go. By not engaging, you protect your mental clarity and avoid being pulled into unnecessary drama. One of the most liberating principles of Stoicism is realizing that you don't have to react to every slight or provocation. As Epictetus wisely noted, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Picture this: you're at a family gathering, and a relative makes a passive-aggressive comment about your life choices. Instead of snapping back or defending yourself, you pause, smile, and remain silent. This moment of non-reaction speaks volumes. It shows that their words hold no power over you and forces them to sit with the discomfort of their own behavior. This practice doesn't mean you're avoiding conflict or allowing disrespect to go unchecked. Instead, it's about choosing your battles wisely and maintaining control over your emotions. When you refuse to engage in petty conflicts, you achieve three crucial outcomes. You preserve your energy. Every time you avoid an unnecessary argument, you save mental and emotional energy for things that truly matter. You demonstrate inner strength. By staying calm and composed, you show others that you're not easily shaken. This resilience often commands respect over time. You disarm the other person. When you don't react, the other person loses their power over you. They're left to reflect on their behavior without the distraction of a heated exchange. Social media provides countless opportunities for power struggles. Heated debates in comment sections and inflammatory posts can easily pull you into arguments that lead nowhere. However, choosing not to engage in these exchanges is a powerful act of self-respect. Instead of responding to negativity, focus on what uplifts and aligns with your values. This simple shift not only protects your peace, but also reinforces your commitment to living intentionally. Have you ever walked away from a pointless argument? How did it feel to reclaim your energy and peace of mind? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to break free from the cycle of unnecessary conflict. Learning to avoid power struggles is a transformative practice, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Sometimes, dealing with disrespect requires taking more deliberate action, such as limiting your exposure to toxic individuals. Let's explore this crucial next step in the following section. Step 3. Limit your exposure to toxic individuals. Reclaim your time, energy, and peace. We've all been there. A co-worker who thrives on negativity, a family member who constantly belittles us, or a friend whose sarcasm crosses the line into hurtful territory. It's exhausting, isn't it? These toxic interactions leave you drained, frustrated, and questioning your own worth. But here's the good news. You have more control than you think. While you may not be able to eliminate these people from your life entirely, you can absolutely limit their influence over your time, energy, and emotional well-being. As Seneca, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Often, the suffering caused by toxic individuals isn't from their actions alone, but from the space we allow them to occupy in our minds and lives. Modern Stoicism teaches us that protecting our peace is not selfish, it's essential. Imagine your life as a beautiful garden. The people you interact with are like plants. Some nourish the soil and help you thrive, while others act like weeds, choking your growth and draining your energy. If you don't actively tend to your garden, those weeds will take over, leaving little room for anything beautiful to flourish. Toxic individuals are the weeds in this analogy, whether it's a critical boss, a manipulative friend, or a perpetually negative relative. Their behavior not only drains your energy, but also impacts your mental clarity and emotional resilience. By continuing to give them access to your time and attention, you're essentially handing them the tools to disrupt your peace. Limiting your exposure doesn't mean cutting people off abruptly or creating unnecessary drama. Instead, it's about quietly taking control of how much space they occupy in your life. Here's the good news. Limiting exposure is a skill, and like any skill, it can be practiced and refined. Let's break it down into actionable steps. Recognize the drains in your life. Start by identifying the relationships that leave you feeling depleted. After interacting with someone, ask yourself, do I feel uplifted or do I feel worse about myself? If it's the latter, that's a sign to reassess the energy you're investing in that person. Set boundaries. Quietly. You don't need to make grand announcements or explain your decision to others. For example, with a toxic coworker, keep interactions strictly professional and focused on tasks. With a difficult relative, limit conversations to neutral topics and decline unnecessary gatherings. Reduce engagement strategically. You might not be able to avoid some people entirely, especially if they're part of your family or workplace, but you can control the frequency and depth of your interactions. Instead of texting back immediately, take your time. Instead of saying yes to every invitation, prioritize activities that align with your well-being. Create a supportive environment. Surround yourself with people who encourage and uplift you. When you fill your life with positivity, the influence of toxic individuals naturally diminishes. Give yourself permission to say no. This is a big one. So many of us feel obligated to endure toxic relationships out of guilt, tradition, or fear of confrontation. Remember, your time and energy are finite resources. Saying no to toxicity is saying yes to your peace. Let me share a story that illustrates this concept perfectly. A friend of mine, Sarah, used to attend weekly family dinners where her uncle always made belittling comments about her career. For years, Sarah tolerated it, thinking, family is family. I have to put up with it. But over time, these gatherings became a source of dread, and her confidence began to erode. One day, Sarah decided to make a change. She stopped attending every dinner and only showed up for major holidays. When she did attend, she made a conscious effort to limit her interactions with her uncle, focusing instead on the family members who supported her. The result? Sarah felt lighter, happier, and more in control of her life. Her story is a reminder that limiting exposure to toxicity doesn't mean cutting ties completely. It means reclaiming your energy and choosing relationships that nourish you. What makes this approach so effective is its subtlety. Toxic individuals often thrive on conflict or confrontation, expecting you to lash out or retaliate. By quietly reducing your engagement, you deny them the reaction they crave. It's like turning the volume down on a radio station you don't enjoy. You don't have to listen to the noise just because it's there. Seneca wisely advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. This doesn't mean ghosting every difficult person in your life, but consciously prioritizing relationships that align with your values and well-being. For many, the hardest part of limiting exposure is the guilt. You might worry that by stepping back you'll seem cold, unkind, or selfish. But consider this. If someone constantly disrespects you or drains your energy, are they respecting you? Are they valuing your well-being? Choosing to limit your exposure is not an act of selfishness. It's an act of self-respect. You're not abandoning people, you're setting a standard for how you deserve to be treated. When you begin to distance yourself from toxic individuals, something magical happens. Your energy returns. Without the constant drain of negativity, you'll feel more energized and focused. Your self-worth strengthens. By prioritizing your well-being, you reinforce the belief that you deserve respect and peace. Positive relationships flourish. As you create space in your life, you'll attract and nurture relationships that uplift and inspire you. Your inner peace deepens. With less exposure to toxicity, you'll find it easier to maintain a calm and balanced mindset. Have you ever made the decision to step back from a toxic relationship? How did it impact your life? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could inspire someone else to take a bold step toward reclaiming their peace. Limiting exposure to toxic individuals is a profound act of self-care, but it's not the only tool in your Stoic toolkit. Sometimes, the best way to handle disrespect isn't to step back, it's to stand still in calm silence. Let's dive into the power of responding with silence in the next section. Step 4. Respond with silence, the power of saying nothing. Not every insult demands a reply, and not every confrontation requires your participation. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to handle disrespect is through deliberate silence. It's a lesson deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, where restraint is seen as a mark of inner strength. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." By choosing silence, you transcend the chaos, refusing to be pulled into unnecessary drama or emotional tug-of-wars. Silence is not passivity or weakness. It's a conscious decision to value your peace over proving a point. In a world that constantly demands reactions, the ability to stay quiet is a rare and profound skill. Disrespectful people often aim to provoke. Their rude comments, aggressive tones, or dismissive attitudes are designed to push your buttons and elicit a reaction. By reacting, you give them what they seek, control over your emotions. Silence, on the other hand, denies them that satisfaction. It forces them to sit with their own words, without the distraction of your retaliation. This quiet response speaks volumes. It shows that their behavior has no power over you. Consider a workplace scenario where a colleague criticizes you unfairly in a meeting. The natural urge might be to defend yourself immediately, perhaps even retaliating with your own sharp words. But imagine this instead. You pause, take a breath, and remain silent. That moment of non-reaction shifts the focus back to them. Without an argument to escalate, their negativity has nowhere to land. Using silence effectively requires practice and a commitment to staying composed under pressure. Here's how you can master this art. Pause and reflect. When faced with disrespect, take a moment to pause. Count to 5, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that your peace is more important than winning an argument. Maintain neutral body language. Your silence should convey calm confidence, not anger or submission. Keep your posture straight, make eye contact if appropriate, and resist the urge to fidget or look defensive. Let the silence linger. Often, a brief silence is all it takes for the other person to feel the weight of their words. Resist the urge to fill the awkward gap. Let them process the situation on their own. Choose your words carefully. If you decide to respond after a pause, make your words thoughtful and measured. A calm, composed statement like, "I'll consider your feedback," can disarm even the most aggressive provocations. Silence doesn't just protect you from external negativity, it also gives you space to process your emotions and avoid impulsive reactions. Have you ever said something in the heat of the moment that you later regretted? Silence prevents those slip-ups. By choosing not to engage immediately, you create a buffer between the disrespectful act and your response. This aligns with Stoic principles, which emphasize the importance of mastering your reactions. As Seneca once said, "Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue." Silence can be surprisingly unsettling for the person being disrespectful. Many people expect an argument or reaction when they behave poorly. When none comes, they're forced to sit with their own discomfort. Picture this. During a family dinner, a relative makes a snide comment about your lifestyle. Instead of snapping back or defending yourself, you pause, take a sip of water, and remain silent. The silence stretches, and suddenly, their comment feels out of place. In that quiet space, they might even realize the pettiness of their words. Silence becomes a mirror, reflecting their behavior back at them without you needing to say a word. While silence is a powerful tool, it's not suitable for every situation. Use it when the disrespectful comment or action doesn't warrant a detailed response. The other person's goal is clearly to provoke a reaction. You need time to process your emotions and decide on an appropriate course of action. However, if a boundary has been crossed, or if the behavior persists, silence alone may not be enough. In such cases, combining silence with clear, assertive communication is more effective. Nowhere is the power of silence more relevant than on social media. The internet is full of people eager to argue, provoke, and disrespect. Engaging in these debates rarely leads to meaningful outcomes. It only drains your time and energy. The next time someone posts a rude comment on one of your posts or tries to bait you into an argument, resist the urge to reply. Instead, let your silence speak for itself. By not engaging, you retain control over your energy and deny them the reaction they're seeking. Choosing silence over conflict offers profound benefits. You retain your peace. Without the emotional toll of arguments, you preserve your mental clarity and well-being. You command respect. Silence, in the face of disrespect, communicates strength and self-control, often earning you respect over time. You disarm negativity. By refusing to escalate the situation, you take away the other person's power to affect your mood. You gain time to reflect. Silence creates space for you to consider your response carefully, ensuring it aligns with your values. Have you ever responded to disrespect with silence? How did it change the dynamic of the situation? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might encourage someone else to try this transformative practice. Silence is a powerful tool, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. In some situations, limiting your exposure to toxic individuals may not be enough. And responding with silence, while effective, might not change the behavior of someone who refuses to respect you. When these challenges arise, the next step is to stop taking things personally. Let's dive deeper into this critical mindset shift in the next section. Step 5. Don't take it personally. Free yourself from the burden of others' opinions. It's natural to feel hurt or offended when someone disrespects you. After all, their words or actions often seem aimed directly at your character, your abilities, or your choices. But one of the most liberating lessons from Stoic philosophy is this: don't take it personally. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Disrespect is rarely about you. It's more often a reflection of the other person's frustrations, insecurities, or unresolved struggles. When you realize this, you can separate their behavior from your self-worth, breaking free from the emotional burden of their actions. As human beings, we crave connection, understanding, and validation. When someone disrespects us, it can feel like an attack on the core of who we are. You might find yourself overanalyzing the situation. What did I do wrong? Why don't they like me? This cycle of doubt and self-blame can be exhausting, eroding your confidence and peace of mind. But here's the truth. Other people's behavior says more about them than it does about you. A rude comment from a colleague may stem from their own workplace stress or insecurities. A dismissive tone from a friend might be a reflection of their bad day, not your value as a person. When you stop taking disrespect personally, you reclaim your emotional freedom. You no longer waste time trying to decode or internalize negativity that isn't yours to carry. Shifting this mindset takes practice, but it's one of the most empowering skills you can develop. Here are practical steps to help you let go of unnecessary emotional baggage. Recognize the root cause. Ask yourself, is this about me or is it about them? Often you'll find that the other person's behavior has little to do with you and everything to do with their own struggles. Reframe the situation. Instead of thinking, why are they attacking me? Try, what might they be going through? Viewing disrespect through a lens of compassion or curiosity can help you detach emotionally. Focus on what you can control. You can't control someone else's behavior, but you can control how you respond. Choose calm, confidence, and grace over emotional reactions. Don't seek external validation. Your worth isn't defined by others' opinions. Remind yourself of your strengths and values, and resist the urge to seek approval from people who disrespect you. Let go of the need to fix things. Not every conflict needs resolution, and not every rude comment needs a response. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is let it go. Consider the story of Daniel, a talented graphic designer who often received dismissive feedback from one of his clients. At first, Daniel internalized the criticism, questioning his skills and feeling increasingly stressed about his work. One day, he decided to step back and analyze the situation objectively. He realized that the client's negativity wasn't about him. It was about their own unrealistic expectations and poor communication. Armed with this new perspective, Daniel stopped taking the feedback personally. Instead, he focused on delivering his best work without letting the client's tone affect his confidence. This shift changed everything. Daniel felt lighter, more focused, and better equipped to handle challenging clients in the future. His story is a powerful reminder that you can't control others' behavior, but you can control how much power you give it. Stoicism teaches us that our peace of mind depends not on external events, but on how we interpret them. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When someone disrespects you, it's easy to see their behavior as a reflection of your worth. But Stoicism urges us to detach from this perspective. The opinions of others are simply that, opinions. They don't define your value unless you allow them to. This doesn't mean ignoring all feedback. Constructive criticism can be a valuable tool for growth. The key is to filter out negativity that doesn't serve you and focus only on insights that align with your values and goals. When you stop taking things personally, you unlock a powerful freedom. You protect your peace. By detaching from others' negativity, you shield your mind from unnecessary stress and self-doubt. You reclaim your energy. No longer wasting time or emotions on someone else's issues, you can focus on what truly matters to you. You build resilience. Over time, you develop an unshakable confidence that isn't easily affected by others' opinions. You strengthen relationships. By not reacting defensively to every slight, you create space for healthier, more constructive interactions. Here are a few examples of situations where detachment can make a big difference. A sarcastic remark from a colleague during a stressful meeting. A rude comment from a stranger on social media. Passive-aggressive behavior from a family member at a holiday gathering. In these moments, remind yourself, this is not about me. I control how much power I give to their words. The next time you feel disrespected, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Ask yourself, does this really define me, or is this about them? Reflect on what truly matters to you and respond only if it aligns with your values. Where someone disrespected you, how did it feel to stop taking it personally? Share your story in the comments. Your perspective might inspire someone else to free themselves from the weight of others' opinions. When you stop taking things personally, you free yourself from the cycle of self-doubt and emotional exhaustion. But sometimes, even this mindset isn't enough, and you need to take bold action to protect your peace. In those cases, the next step is key, learning when to walk away. Let's explore this transformative lesson in the following section. Step 6. Walk away when necessary. Choosing yourself over conflict. Sometimes the most powerful statement you can make in the face of disrespect is to walk away. This isn't an act of defeat, but one of self-respect and courage. It's a way of saying, I value my peace and dignity too much to remain in this situation. Walking away, whether from a toxic relationship, an unhealthy work environment, or a disrespectful conversation, is one of the hardest, yet most transformative lessons in life. As Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wisely observed, you act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. Life is too short to spend in places or with people who erode your sense of worth. Walking away is not about giving up. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, so you can make space for growth and joy. Remaining in situations filled with disrespect or toxicity comes at a cost. It chips away at your confidence, saps your energy, and keeps you from living authentically. When you tolerate disrespect for too long, it starts to feel normal, even acceptable. This mindset traps you in cycles of unhappiness and self-doubt. Walking away is a declaration of your self-worth. It's a way of breaking free from the invisible chains that hold you back and reclaiming control over your life. Knowing when to walk away is just as important as having the courage to do so. Here are key signs. It's time to leave. Repeated disrespect. If someone continues to disregard your boundaries or treat you poorly despite your attempts to address the issue, it's a clear sign they don't value your worth. Emotional exhaustion. When interactions with someone consistently leave you feeling drained, anxious, or resentful, it's time to evaluate whether the relationship is worth the toll on your mental health. Stagnation. If a situation no longer contributes to your growth or well-being, walking away creates space for better opportunities to flourish. Toxic patterns. If disrespect has become a recurring theme, whether it's a friendship, job, or family dynamic, leaving may be the only way to break the cycle. Walking away is never easy, especially when emotions, history, or obligations are involved. However, with a clear approach, you can leave with grace and confidence. Clarify your values. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? When you understand your core values, it becomes easier to recognize situations that don't align with them. Take small steps. If walking away completely feels overwhelming, start with small actions like reducing interactions or mentally detaching from the situation. Plan ahead. In cases like leaving a toxic job, having a plan in place, such as securing another position, can ease the transition and give you confidence to take the leap. Focus on your peace. Remind yourself that walking away isn't about the other person or situation. It's about choosing your well-being. Leave without drama. Walking away doesn't require grand exits or heated confrontations. Sometimes, the quiet decision to step back is the most powerful act of all. Take the story of Jake, a man who had been friends with someone since high school. Over the years, this friend became increasingly critical and dismissive, constantly making Jake feel small. Jake often found himself dreading their hangouts, but hesitated to end the friendship because of their long history. One day, after another belittling comment, Jake realized something. History alone isn't enough to sustain a relationship. He decided to walk away, not with anger, but with quiet confidence. He stopped initiating contact and politely declined invitations. While it was difficult at first, Jake soon noticed an incredible sense of relief. Walking away gave him the freedom to focus on relationships that uplifted him, and his self-esteem grew stronger as a result. It's important to understand that walking away is not about running from challenges. It's about recognizing when a fight isn't worth your energy. As Marcus Aurelius advised, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Choosing to leave a toxic situation isn't a failure. It's a victory over the need for external validation. It's a powerful reminder that your self-worth is not tied to others' behavior, but to your own choices. When you walk away from situations or people who disrespect you, the benefits are profound. You reclaim your energy. By removing yourself from toxic dynamics, you free up mental and emotional space for growth and positivity. You strengthen your self-worth. Walking away reinforces the belief that you deserve respect and peace, regardless of what others think or say. You open new doors. Leaving behind what no longer serves you creates opportunities for healthier relationships, fulfilling careers, and personal growth. Model. Self-respect. Your actions set an example for others, showing them how to value and protect their own peace. It's natural to feel fear or guilt when considering walking away. Fear of judgment, guilt for leaving others behind, or worry about the unknown. But remember, staying in a situation that harms you is far more damaging than the temporary discomfort of leaving. Walking away is not about burning bridges, but about building a life that aligns with your values. Have you ever walked away from a toxic situation? How did it impact your life? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could inspire someone else to take the first step toward reclaiming their peace. Walking away is one of the most courageous acts of self-respect, but it's also a stepping stone to something even greater, surrounding yourself with people who truly uplift and encourage you. Let's explore this transformative next step in the following section. Step 7. Surround yourself with supportive people. Build a circle that lifts you up. Life is too short to spend in the company of those who tear you down. Disrespect, negativity, and toxic behavior can drain your energy and make you question your worth. That's why one of the most transformative steps in handling disrespect is to surround yourself with people who see, value, and encourage your true potential. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. And your thoughts, more often than not, are shaped by the people you spend the most time with. A supportive circle of friends, colleagues, and loved ones acts like a mirror, reflecting back your strengths and helping you stay grounded when life throws challenges your way. Think back to a time when you felt uplifted and inspired by someone in your life. Perhaps it was a mentor who believed in your potential, or a friend who reminded you of your worth when you doubted yourself. Now contrast that with someone who left you feeling drained, belittled, or unworthy. The difference is striking, isn't it? Supportive people do more than make you feel good. They challenge you to grow, encourage you to pursue your goals, and remind you of your value when the world seems determined to tear you down. On the other hand, spending time with those who thrive on negativity can chip away at your self-esteem and keep you stuck in a cycle of doubt and insecurity. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control how others behave, we can control the company we keep. Choosing to surround yourself with people who respect and uplift you is one of the most powerful ways to protect your peace and nurture your growth. Cultivating a network of positive relationships requires intention and effort. Here are some steps to help you create a circle of people who lift you up. Evaluate your current relationships. Take an honest look at the people in your life. Do they encourage and support you, or do they bring negativity and criticism? Identify relationships that nourish you and those that drain you. Spend more time with uplifting people. Make a conscious effort to prioritize relationships with those who inspire, respect, and encourage you. Whether it's a kind-hearted friend, a mentor, or a family member who always sees the best in you, these connections deserve your time and energy. Seek out like-minded individuals. Join communities, clubs, or groups that align with your values and interests. Surrounding yourself with people who share your goals and outlook can help you feel more connected and supported. Be supportive in return. Building a supportive circle is a two-way street. Show genuine interest in others' lives, offer encouragement when they face challenges, and celebrate their successes. Strong, positive relationships thrive on mutual respect and care. Set boundaries with negative people. For relationships you can't fully walk away from, such as with colleagues or certain family members, set firm boundaries to limit their impact on your emotional well-being. Let's take the story of Emily, a young professional who struggled in her workplace. Her team was competitive, and her manager often criticized her work publicly, leaving her feeling unappreciated and insecure. Outside of work, Emily's social circle wasn't much better. Friends who often dismissed her dreams and joked about her ambitions. One day, Emily decided she'd had enough. She began to seek out mentors in her industry who could guide and inspire her. She joined a professional group where she met colleagues who valued collaboration over competition. Gradually, she also distanced herself from unsupportive friends and started spending time with people who celebrated her goals. The change was remarkable. Surrounded by positive influences, Emily regained her confidence and even found the courage to transition into a role where her contributions were valued. Her story is a testament to the power of choosing the right people to walk alongside you on your journey. When you surround yourself with the right people, the benefits go beyond personal growth. You feel empowered. Encouraging relationships remind you of your strengths and potential, giving you the confidence to pursue your goals. You stay grounded. During challenges, supportive individuals act as a stabilizing force, offering perspective and encouragement when you face setbacks. You cultivate resilience. With the backing of a strong support system, you develop the emotional strength to handle disrespect and negativity without losing sight of your worth. You attract more positivity. Positive relationships have a magnetic quality, drawing more like-minded individuals into your life. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of relationships in shaping our character and outlook. Seneca advised, associate with people who are likely to improve you. This doesn't mean isolating yourself from everyone who has flaws. It means intentionally seeking out connections that align with your values and aspirations. The company you keep directly influences your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your quality of life. A supportive circle is like a protective shield, helping you navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Sometimes, the fear of judgment or rejection can hold us back from forming new connections, or we may feel obligated to maintain relationships that no longer serve us out of loyalty or guilt. Remember, prioritizing your well-being isn't selfish, it's essential. By choosing relationships that uplift you, you're not just improving your own life, you're also creating space to give back to others in meaningful ways. When you invest in relationships that inspire and encourage you, the rewards are profound. Greater confidence. You feel validated and valued by those around you. Improved mental health. Positive interactions boost your emotional well-being and reduce stress. Stronger resilience. With a network of support, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges. A sense of belonging. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals fosters connection and purpose. Who are the supportive people in your life, and how have they helped you grow? Have you made changes to prioritize uplifting relationships? Share your experiences in the comments below. You never know who your story might inspire to do the same. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is one of the most empowering steps you can take to protect your peace and nurture your growth. But there's one last vital step in this journey: learning that respect starts from within. Let's explore this foundational truth in the final step. Step 8. Respect starts from within. Set the standard for how others treat you. Respect is not something you demand from others, it's something you cultivate within yourself. How others treat you reflects their character, but how you respond reveals your own. By respecting yourself deeply and consistently, you set the tone for every interaction in your life. This is the foundation of inner strength, and it's the ultimate lesson in handling disrespect. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. In other words, how you perceive yourself shapes the way others perceive and treat you. Respect starts with the standards you set for yourself and the way you live by them every day. Think about this. If you don't value yourself, how can you expect others to? Self-respect isn't just about setting boundaries or walking away from disrespect. It's about holding yourself to a standard of dignity and refusing to compromise on what you know you deserve. Every time you allow someone to treat you poorly without addressing it, you're silently lowering the bar for how others can treat you. Conversely, every time you stand firm in your principles and demand better, you reinforce your self-worth and teach others to do the same. Self-respect is not a one-time decision. It's a practice that you build daily through your thoughts, actions, and choices. Here's how to start. Set clear standards for yourself. Define what respect means to you. What behaviors will you tolerate? What values are non-negotiable? These standards act as a compass, guiding your interactions with others. Live in alignment with your values. Respecting yourself means living authentically. When your actions align with your beliefs, you create a strong foundation of self-worth. Prioritize self-care. Taking care of your mental, physical, and emotional well-being isn't indulgent, it's essential. When you treat yourself with kindness and care, you signal to others that you deserve the same. Address disrespect directly. If someone crosses a line, calmly but firmly communicate your boundaries. For example, you might say, "I value mutual respect, and I don't appreciate that comment. Please don't speak to me that way." Don't seek validation from others. Your worth is not determined by someone else's opinion. Trust in your own value and let your self-respect guide you, not external approval. Stephen was a highly skilled professional, but he struggled with a difficult team member who constantly undermined him in meetings. At first, Stephen tried to ignore the behavior, thinking his patience would eventually earn the person's respect. Instead, the disrespect continued, and Stephen found himself increasingly stressed and frustrated. One day, Stephen decided to take control. He called a meeting with the individual and calmly but firmly laid out his expectations for mutual respect. He didn't yell or argue, he simply communicated his boundaries with confidence. The result? The dynamic shifted immediately. The team member adjusted their behavior, and Stephen walked away from the situation with his dignity intact. His story highlights a key truth. When you respect yourself, others are more likely to follow suit. Respecting yourself creates a ripple effect that transforms every interaction in your life. You command respect naturally. When you carry yourself with confidence and dignity, people instinctively recognize and respect your boundaries. You attract healthier relationships. Self-respect acts like a filter, drawing in people who align with your values and repelling those who don't. You handle disrespect with grace. With a strong sense of self-worth, you're less likely to take disrespect personally. Instead, you respond thoughtfully and assertively. You inspire others. Living with self-respect sets an example for those around you, encouraging them to hold themselves to higher standards as well. Stoicism teaches that our inner peace is not dependent on external circumstances, but on how we govern our inner world. Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastering yourself means refusing to tolerate anything that diminishes your sense of worth. Self-respect is also about holding yourself accountable. If you find yourself seeking approval from others or allowing disrespect to persist, it's a sign to realign with your values and priorities. Building self-respect can feel challenging, especially if you've been in environments where your worth wasn't acknowledged. You might doubt whether you're deserving of respect or worry about the consequences of standing up for yourself. Here's the truth. You are deserving of respect simply because you exist. You don't need to earn it from others. You need to cultivate it within yourself. By treating yourself with kindness, enforcing your boundaries, and living in alignment with your values, you'll find that self-respect becomes second nature. The rewards of respecting yourself. When you commit to self-respect, the benefits extend far beyond your interactions with others. Greater confidence, you feel secure in your worth and less affected by external negativity. Improved mental health. Respecting yourself reduces stress and fosters a sense of inner peace. Stronger relationships. You build connections based on mutual respect and shared values. Personal growth. Self-respect pushes you to live authentically and pursue what truly matters to you. What does self-respect mean to you? How have you cultivated it in your life? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to begin their journey towards self-respect. Respect starts within, and when you carry yourself with dignity, you set the standard for how others treat you. Those who cannot meet that standard will naturally fall away, leaving space for healthier, more fulfilling relationships. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you live with self-respect, you build a foundation of inner peace and strength that no external force can disturb. And that, ultimately, is the essence of Stoic philosophy. Mastering yourself to create a life guided by values, dignity, and peace.